Well, I'm fortunate enough to be joined by the Eagles recruiting and list manager, Rohan O'Brien, straight after day 3 of the draft. Rohan, how you going, mate? Just very quickly, what are the all-encompassing type thoughts now that we've put the draft behind us?
Yes, look, we're really pleased, mate. We feel like we came away with it with a number of guys that can fill spots all over the ground, which gives us a little bit of list balance. We look at this period as also part of the trade period as well. So it's all encompassing. It's managing your list through trade and draft. And over those 2 periods, we've been able to bring some good talent in and get a bit of balance for the list as well.
Now, you've got the rest of your recruiting team in another state. Nothing new, I know, with this communication, the times we're in. But how did you find that again this year, where you've got to be on the blower to our team and also fielding calls from the other opposition teams as well? How'd you juggle it?
Yeah, a little bit better than last year. I think we're probably a little bit more used to it by now. It's certainly not ideal, but I think we've all learned to live with this type of thing. And the guys in Perth have been terrific. So, yeah, we managed to get through without too many hiccups.
Can we cast our minds back to day 1, Rohan? Pick 10 initially, drops back to 12 after the nominations, and then talk us through how the decision came about through the recruiting team to then want to drop back the spots, and obviously what we got in return, the benefits there.
Yeah, so we got a little bit of contact from Port on the day of the draft, and it was a really appealing trade. The proviso we had with them was that we had to have the right players available at our pick to be able to move back 2 selections. Gaining a future second round pick was really attractive, but we weren't going to compromise what we did at that selection. So when it came through and we had the right amount of players there and we were able to move back and ensure we were preferably getting Campbell, but we had some quality left there as well apart from him. We were happy to do the trade and strengthen our hand a little bit for next year.
So what was it about Chess's abilities that really caught the eye of the recruiting team, Rohan?
Yeah, well, I think there's a lot of things with Campbell. Certainly his versatility, his size. He's going to be, quite a good size and a strong boy. And he brings some real speed and ball use as well. So we'll start him through the midfield. We think that's where his strength is. I know he's been talked a little bit about as a defender, but we see him as a midfielder. Probably as a young guy, he'll start on the outside, where he can use his running ability, but in time we think he can also move playing an inside role as well.
Then on day 2, the club sets itself on recruiting a truckload of local WA talent. Number 31, Brady Huff, is the next to fall. Just a great story, a lifelong Eagles fan, and he was absolutely rapt at joining the club. What are we to expect from Brady?
Yeah, so Brady's he's done really well. He's only played 1 year of waffle footy. Played local footy last year for Harvey, playing senior footy down there, and has come into the waffle system this year, graduating from Colts to under-19s champs to playing a league game against Subi at the end of the year, which there's probably not much tougher introduction at waffle level, and he handled himself really well there, and also an under-19s champs level. He's another one who we think has got some really good versatility, brings a bit of speed, and he can play through the midfield and at either end of the ground. A little bit similar, if you like, in terms of going through the grades and handling it all to what Luke Edwards showed last year. So the guys in Perth who've seen the most of him were really rating him quite highly, and we were pleased when he was available.
The club then turns its attention to a bit of tall timber, with Rhett Bazzo coming across from Swan Districts, played a pivotal role in their Colts premiership. Mick Ablett actually labelled him one of the steals of the draft. How did he rank on your board?
Yeah, he was reasonably high, Red. He's had a year that's been a little bit disjointed, switching between Swans and playing school footy. Start of the year, I think everyone would have projected Rhett quite highly. Sometimes, ducking in and out of systems can be a little bit hard. Also playing under 19s champs, but he actually finished the year really well. Was very good in the 19s champs at Lathlane Park against WA, and then in the grand final he played a key role in getting Swans back into the game. He's a really talented young tall, and yeah, we think he's got a bright future ahead.
The club continues down the path of key position talent. They looked to Jack Williams out of East Fremantle, did a bit of key forward work, even a bit of ruck work, which makes a bit of sense at 194 centimetres, Rohan.
Yeah, so Jack's another one that's had a slightly disjointed year with various things, but He hit the ground running at the start of the year and played a bit of league practice games and performed quite well. As the year went on, he kind of had a little bit of an up and down season, but again showed some really good signs in the under-19s champs. Had some very strong games at Colts level, and at his size as a key forward, we found him pretty appealing.
Then one of the more heartwarming stories, I guess, of the draft, Subiaco, the triple premiership player in the midfield and Simpson medalist in Gregory Clark, overlooked so many years past, finally gets a crack at the AFL system after many seasons of hard work at Waffle level.
Yeah, it was really pleasing to give Greg an opportunity. He's obviously performed strongly at Waffle level for a couple of years now. Outstanding year this year, outstanding grand final, obviously. He's really matured as a player. He's maybe seen a little bit as a pick for the now, but at 24, there's plenty left in front of him. We're quite excited to give Greg that opportunity and see what he can bring.
Just in terms of moving up the draft and giving away the future fourth rounder, there was maybe a bit of doubt there from the team that he might not still be there by the time perhaps the rookie came around. Just talk us through the strategy behind that one, please.
Yeah, a little bit of that. That was exactly it, really. So we weren't sure whether Greg would make it through to our next pick or even make it through to the rookie draft. So given that we'd already traded in the future second and we had a little bit of extra currency there, we thought we'd do that trade and get up the order and just tidy it up there and then.
Well, Rohan, it's countless months of or years even of hard work from your recruiting team to get all your ducks in a row and to have these picks. Are you happy now? Are you happy it's behind you, or are you now sad you've probably got a bit no purpose for a couple of weeks?
No, I think we're always happy, mate, come the end of the draft. It's great to give these guys an opportunity. You're right. It's a lot of work along the way, and it's a lot of work for the boys too, who have put in countless hours training and developing their game. So great to give them an opportunity. We've already started a little bit of work around next year, so we'll continue with that now, mate, but pleased to get this one out of the way.
Well, I know how busy you are on the reviews, mate. I appreciate your time. Thanks very much to you and your team. Congratulations. I know you feel like you've done well and got a couple ranked higher than you thought. So hats off to you. All the best.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate that.